Hey, this is Ace, here as always with my partner Dees, and this is About That Sports Life, where we talk about sports, life, and style. We got plenty to do today, so let's get started without further ado. So we got some quick hit or miss topics we want to get into. First and foremost is a topic that, it's kind of relevant right now, the Nets, resurgence, I guess to call it. If you want to call it that. Me personally, I think we kind of wrote them and other teams that struggled early off a little prematurely. I mean, we really were only about a quarter into the season at the point when they really started to pick it up and get things together. And especially the Nets, it seemed like they had so many new parts, so many injuries early that it was a bit too much expected of them, even though rightfully so. I mean, you put together a super team, you expect a super team results. But I just think what they're doing now is unfortunate that they're clicking and things are happening at this point. Because, I mean, what made them special to me was that big man in the middle, Brooke Lopez. I feel like without him, with him being down for the season, it puts a ceiling on what they could even do, regardless of how good they get. I don't think they're going to be good enough to crack that two-team race at the top of the Eastern Conference. What do you think?
I thought they was going to turn it around regardless. I didn't think the Knicks were going to turn it around, which it doesn't seem like they are. They're going in the worst direction. But I thought they just needed a little more time to gel and get past the injury. And I don't know what would have happened with Brooke. Because I thought they would have turned around regardless, I think they would have been good with Brooke. But I think what it did with Brooke going down is it expedited the process. It took less getting used to. KG went back into the role he had played the past several years. Pierce, once they decided to come bring Pierce off the bench, and to be quite honest, Darren Williams getting hurt. He hasn't been in shape. He hasn't been the same player. The ankles have been tender. Shaun Livingston was playing at a high level. People forget Shaun Livingston was one of the top players in his class coming out. If not for the injuries and probably foregoing college, which turns out to have been a mistake for his development. Shaun Livingston may possibly be one of the top point guards in the league right now. He is 6'7". He can see over the defense. And, maybe a little college time or, not for the injuries, he would have developed a jump shot. But I think people did write him off too quickly. I think people were quick to finger wag because of the whole Jason Kidd going right into the coaching. So it was plenty of reasons. They clowned the Nets. They called them the Jets of the NBA, and all they were concerned about was the back pages. But quite possibly it's looking like the Nets are going to end up in third place. I always thought they were the third best team in the East because I thought the first two were kind of locked in. I think Indiana is a strong team, and Miami, when healthy, has that much individual talent to carry them past the Nets. So I don't think they thought they would have been number 3 with a 43-39 record, but it's turning out that that's more realistic for number 3 type of team they're going to be. But I think if they can turn it around and do something presentable with what Billy King put together, they will save his job and Jason Kidd's, at least at this rate. And we'll see what happens going forward because they're kind of strapped unless KG decides to retire and they don't re-sign Pierce. But then what do they do? If that's the case.
Well, I'm like I said, I don't disagree, but I just feel like I said before, each one of these teams let's say the 2 teams that are on top of the Eastern Conference, they both have something that sets them apart from the other one. You got LeBron, which sets the Heat apart from everybody else in the NBA. He's the best player in the NBA. And then you have the Pacers, not Paul George, who
they look like the best team.
Paul George is great, but there are other Paul Georges in the NBA. There is no other Roy Hibberts in the NBA, which is where the Nets would have had an equalizer in Brooke Lopez.
But I think
that's my entire argument.
I think Indiana strengthened their bench so much when you got a scorer coming off your bench.
Absolutely.
And now you got Danny Granger back coming off your bench.
Absolutely.
They solidified the backup point guard with the player they got him from the Nets.
Shaun, I know you're talking about CJ Watson.
Yeah. So their bench looks to be really strong.
I'm not saying that the Nets would have gave them the edge over these teams, but I would say we put them in the same class if they would have rounded into shape as they have now with Brooke Lopez being in that middle. Because without Brooke Lopez, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm intimately familiar with Kevin Durant. As not a damn thing that Kevin Garnett could do with Roy Hibbert. Not a damn thing. So, no matter what they
finish
do.
third, they'll play Miami in the second round.
Okay, so they play Miami in the second round, and it's not a damn thing that KG can do with LeBron or Chris Bosh.
They'd be exactly what I thought they were going to be. Third best.
But what I'm saying is, Brooke Lopez
that's progress.
Possibly been
they went home in the first round last year.
No, I don't have a problem with it.
Playoff.
All I'm saying is, it's unfortunate that we're not going to get to see what this team could potentially have been with Brooke Lopez and possibly a healthy Darren Williams. Because I think, to me, Darren Williams would have been the X factor because he gives you what neither one of those other two top teams have, a top flight point guard. Neither one of those two teams have a top flight point guard.
But he's playing at my weight right now.
Which is true. I'm saying right now, but
it's been 3 years since we've seen the real Darren Williams.
Which is true, but when motivated and when healthy, Darren Williams is a top flight point guard.
When is that going to be? When they send him back to Utah? Like, when is he going to get motivated? Like, since they moved to Brooklyn, he has not been motivated or healthy.
No.
Cost Avery his kid, and he was trying to cost Kid his. It's supposed to have been his man. He gave him the hard cosign to be his coach. Like, come on, D. Will, get right, man. Jesus, right. Tickets too high in Brooklyn for that, man. Get right.
You had a lot of guys pass you, D. Will.
Yeah, we're gonna jump into the All-Star starters. Was name? You still got him, Ace?
I mean, Kobe over CP3 to me, even with both of them being injured, I don't.
Come on, man. Kobe played 8 games. Did he play 8?
I don't know.
5,
Not
right?
even. I don't even think he got 8 games.
Come on, man. People, get it together out here, man.
Stephen Curry?
Yes. So for the West, we got Stephen Curry, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin, and Kevin Love. My favorite selection of all. And then for the East, we have Kyrie Irving, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony. Which I have no real arguments with except Dwayne
is
Wade.
Totally different. You got 3 scoring forwards starting in the front court. The NBA got to put the center booth back, man. The All-Star. Like, you got 3 scoring forwards on the front line, man. They playing organized pickup ball. They might as well invite an and-one team in for the Saturday festivities and have the rookies in the second year play. Man, it's been this debate now that we're talking about the starters. I like the selections for the most part. Dwayne Wade needs to be taken out and Kobe Bryant needs to be taken out. Hopefully they're going to take themselves out. In the East?
In the East, if we're talking about a guard, I think John Wall needs to be an all-star starter. John Wall needs to be an all-star starter, not a reserve, an all-star
Joe Johnson
starter.
has carried the Nets.
Joe Johnson, I think Joe Johnson could be an all-star reserve, but as we talking about starters,
John Wall has had a sensational.
I don't think you can look at anybody else other than John Wall.
Yeah, and the Hawks don't get any consideration. I guess they're gonna get a sub. Or
yeah, I can see a sub for Paul Millsap.
Yeah, they do have the third best record in the East.
They don't have any big men, so they're gonna have to fill that out anyway. So
yeah, somebody got. Well, Roy Hibbert's gonna be named to that team.
Yeah, Roy Hibbert's definitely gonna
and
be.
And that's gonna cost Lance Stevenson a spot, cause well, you know what? You might get
I think the Pacers get.
You might get 3 Pacers because you're gonna get 3 because they're really the only team with substantial winning records in the East.
I think
so that's gonna be half the team.
I think you almost have to do that.
And then they'll just filter in.
It's gonna be a lot of snubs.
Who go in for Kobe Bryant? CP3. He's played more games.
I don't think CP3. I say Damian Lillard right now over CP3.
Yeah, we gotta get
even if CP3's healthy, you gotta give it to the Trailblazers. They're the top team in the West.
Yeah. You know what? And I feel bad because I haven't watched Tony Parker enough, but somebody on that Spurs team deserves.
Yeah, Tony Parker should definitely be reserved.
Yeah. Put Trailblazers first.
I mean, I'm just talking starters.
They got the same record. The Spurs don't have one yet either.
That's a toss.
But that's just because the Spurs don't excite people.
But they're not. No.
Even if they playing more up tempo.
Even that, but I still
they don't excite people.
I don't think the Spurs have a starter.
Tony Parker, I haven't seen his.
I don't think Tony Parker's a starter. Damian Lillard is far and away the best guard in the West right now.
But that brings.
That's not named Stephen Curry.
Like Kobe, like one thing I'm not really a traditionalist. They talking about the league's not tough enough, and I mean, I don't know what they want. I don't want to see people clotheslined anymore. Like, I enjoyed the 80s when it happened, but it's kind of over. Yeah. But I would like to see the defender allowed to touch a little bit, because I think just allowing people unimpeded to the basket is just too much of an advantage for the offense. It's like if you can't slow down a LeBron a little bit with a bump or a Russell Westbrook, you almost have no chance to defend these guys.
Which brings me to our next topic a little bit, just to start. The college game is a little different in that it's a little bit more.
Yeah, it's more physical.
So when we see a guy like Wiggins, Andrew Wiggins, who is lauded as the next best big thing in the NBA, and he goes to college and gets a little exposed because, unfortunately, the college game is not 100% like that AAU game where he was pretty much discovered, which is a little bit more like actually the NBA game that he's going to end up playing, where they're a little bit more impeded, it's a little bit more wide open. Wiggins is going to be a better player at the next level because of that. They can't stop him from getting to the rim, which it's going to be a little harder to stop him from getting to the rim in the NBA game than it is with college, which is one of the reasons why I don't know if it's fair to stop these guys from going straight to the NBA. It's like it brings that question back to you because it's like when you got a guy like that whose game is not even suited for the college game. Why is he forced to waste a year of his life playing that?
I almost think it's un-American to say someone can't earn a living. I think if I had the ability, I should be allowed to earn a living at any level. It's not done in any way. Football does it too. But I don't think you should force someone to go to college. I think in fairness, what the NBA and the NFL may need to do is stop using college as their farm systems. The NBA has a mechanism in place for this. They have the developmental league. Use it for what it's used for. Let those guys go. Let them get drafted. Put them in the D League. If you're going to make them do something, have them go to the D League for a year.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean?
I get that.
Use the D League as your training ground, and then let these guys go pro. So they're drafted, they're getting their money, and they're also at a position where they're working on their game. And the D League is what it is. It's a developmental league, and it's being utilized as such, as a developmental league. So I think they have an answer. I have to take a step back off of Wiggins. At first, I was killing Wiggins because I was expecting so much, and it was no fault of his. And then I took a step back and I looked at Wiggins' numbers. Wiggins is not having that bad of a year.
No, not
He's
at all.
averaging 15 and a half points a game.
Not at all.
It's been some moments where it's big moments that he didn't step up the way. You know, it's been big games where he had like 3 points, like against OK State or something like that, and you're like, damn, like where is this I need to see? Wiggins technically supposed to be a senior in high school now. Exactly. He reclassified himself. So though he has all those things, so he has the body primarily of a high school kid. So I think he is going to be all right. I think he's going to develop a little slower, and that's what is challenging for me because I don't know if he's going to get the time he needs to develop because the expectations are going to be here.
I think one of the keys to his development is going to be confidence, and I don't think he has the confidence that I think he lost a lot of confidence in the college game because he's not used to this and it's not. But I think once he gets to the NBA, a couple fast break dunks, a couple highlights on SportsCenter, when we love him again, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be just fine.
And it's kind of reminiscent of Vince Carter in a way. Vince Carter went to college. Dean Smith and them tried to. Was Dean Smith his coach? Not so. Take that back. I don't think Dean was. But when he got to college, they tried to transform his game. And when he got to the NBA, he immediately catapulted back to starter. It was more wide open. It fit his style.
Which is exactly what I think was going to happen.
The college game was too regimented for his game. It actually confined him. So we could see some of the same things with Wiggins. But I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to lower the expectations of what I thought he would be doing. Because if anybody else was having 15 points a game as a freshman, I'd be like, hey, he's not doing that bad. Like, this kid's going to be okay.
Yeah,
but it's like I expected him to come in and just tear it down. And college is a different game. Like, you know, it takes a really special skill set, especially the way college ball is played now, the way basketball is played, where it's more ball sharing. And that's why I'm loving what Kevin Durant is doing right now. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna switch topics real quick. I'm loving what Kevin Durant is doing right now because my problem with Durant is he was trying to be LeBron. He was listening to people like myself and talking about this complete player and getting his purr up instead of just being a killer scorer. He's a born scorer and he needs to go out and he should average 33, 34 a game easily. And he's going out there and he's playing his game. And because he's playing his game, all his other levels are rising because he's doing it in a way that fits his game. Now, what I'm hoping is that when Russell comes back, we will continue to see this aggressive.
But I feel like we've seen this already, and that was the season when they made the finals. That's exactly what they did. It was just two killers who it didn't matter, and to them. To us, it was a problem. To them, it wasn't. It didn't matter to them who was killing, as long as somebody was killing. And that's what they did all the way up until the finals, where that wasn't enough, unfortunately.
And him being that aggressive is bringing up Jeremy Lamb's game. All coming easier for them because people are so focused on him. So they send it two at him, and they're getting wide open looks. So everyone's level, except Kendrick Perkins stealing money, is going up on that team. I mean, yo, Kendrick Perkins burns my ass. He's the most overrated player. Like, you're not a tough guy. You're just not attractive. That's all. All that mean mugging. Why are you mean mugging so much? You are stealing $8 million a year. Smile sometime. Show some teeth.
All I'm saying is this. Well, you say that for me to say this. Kevin Durant right now, to me, if he throughout almost the first half of the season is the MVP of that.
It ain't even a race.
Well, it
ain't out. They talking about don't even mention nobody else right now.
I've heard of LaMarcus Aldridge a lot being mentioned. I think that what LaMarcus Aldridge is doing is great, but I think it's really a lot. But at first, I think that he's run away with the MVP. Like at this point, I don't want to hear about LeBron.
Oh no, this stretch here, it kind of closed it. It's like similar to when the Heat went on that 20-something. It's just you do something so great and so large that there's no competition right now. Ain't no second place, ain't no third place. There's nobody. It's KD. If I had a ballot, he would get my first, second,
I think that right now, today, right now, as we wake up, Kevin Durant is the best offensive player in the NBA.
Oh, without question.
I don't think that there's anybody even close. I mean, you got guys like Carmelo. Stephen Curry is not close. He's not in Kevin Durant's stratosphere.
KD can score so easy. He's 6'11".
Yes.
He handles it like he's 6'1". He's so fluid. Scoring comes easy. And now he's finally seeing it and just owning it and playing his game. LeBron's a facilitator. KD's a scorer.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Any facilitation gonna come off of his scoring.
LeBron is more of a finisher than a scorer.
That's nice for you to say that, because
He's more of a finisher. I never got on the whole choke train. That to me was stupid.
Right.
Because the more game winners you take, the more game winners you're gonna miss.
Right.
So, and to me, he makes the best play, which is part of finishing the game.
Right.
He's making the best play, not necessarily the best taking the shot.
Yeah, I agree with
He's making the best type play to finish the game, to win the game, which is good. It's fine by me. That was never my problem with LeBron. I never had that problem. He's the best finisher. He's gonna get it done.
Right.
Which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But to me, I don't see anybody that can score with Kevin. I don't see any. There's no two players that can guard him at a time.
That's why you gotta start letting people bump a little bit. Like you playing like nobody should get Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Yeah, I'm like, well, who is
except
that?
a big man blocking shot. Like, you really, like, because the way they're not allowing you to even body up. Like, you gotta be able to give a little.
I'm all like Embiid. I'm like, well, that's
like if I think.
I'm like, no, Embiid. I'm like, wait, what's Lebron?
Immediately, when you said Defensive Player of the Year, the first name that popped in my head was Embiid.
Oh, in Kansas?
Yeah, but
he's probably gonna be the number one pick. You can't teach what he can do.
Yeah, he's not gonna be number one pick. He probably should be, but he's not. Because, see,
team would be making
at a certain point, you have to think about who is going to have that number one pick.
If Utah gets it, it's going to be Parker.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he's a woman. Seriously.
It gets a little hazy when you just, if the Sixers get the number one pick, it's not. They're gonna take a guard or a small forward. They're not gonna take another big man when they just took Nerlens Noel last year. That's what I'm saying. You gotta think he probably should be number one pick. He probably is the best player in college basketball right now. But I don't know, given
it depends on who's picking first. If the Lakers pick first, they're gonna take him.
Yeah, I see the Lakers taking him or Wiggins. One of those two.
What's up? You got it. Another day, About That Sports Life. You can follow us on Facebook, About That Sports Life, or you can email us at aboutthatsportslife@gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter and IG at about no vowels, ABATDATSPORTSLIFE. About That Sports Life. Okay, signing out.
To eliminate all the fake that have tried to test the skills of what happily oblige you. Aggressive in a session, peasant with a message, destined to lead this belly of this beast with indigestion. Hold up, I'm not your normal, never like to conform you. Throw you monkeys divine if you trying